2 Corinthians 2:7. Now instead you ought to forgive and comfort him so that he will not be overwhelmed by excessive sorrow. Bulavinaka family, it's your girl Jill. I know it's been quite a while. Welcome back to my channel. But I've just been spending these past few weeks reflecting, self-reflecting. But I praise God that I'm here once again and I'm able to share this platform with you and share my testimony. Just before I do that, once again I would like to take this time to thank God for allowing me this time and this opportunity to be able to be here and share on this platform, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to be here sharing my journey with you. And also big vinakvalev to you, my family, that have always been a source of encouragement and inspiration, and you're always checking up on me and always inspiring me to be a better person. For those of you that are new to my channel, I welcome you in the powerful and matchless name of our Lord Jesus Christ. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscription button and also hit that bell notifications for new video alerts. As you can tell from the Bible verse that I had shared, I am going to be sharing tonight about forgiveness. The choice to forgive. To forgive, you need to make a choice, and forgiveness is a choice. Moving forward sometimes boils down to choosing to move forward, choosing to take the steps necessary to healing yourself. It is not as much about the other person than it is to you freeing yourself. It is saying, hey, I'm willing to do whatever is necessary, whether I feel like it or not, because my life is an example to somebody else that is going through the same thing that I am going through. When I was going through my separation and divorce, I had to learn to forgive even when I did not have the strength to forgive. It was a season in my life where I had to learn to forgive, not for them, but I had to learn to forgive for myself. A few months after my husband left our marriage, I found out that he got this other girl pregnant. So it was around September 2017 when I sat in my prayer room and I was in my quiet time, and I heard God so clearly tell me, go to her and ask her for her forgiveness. To the carnal being in me, it fought so much with God, because God was telling me to do something that I know to anybody, to any human being, that is wrong. Because we are human, we know that we are in the right. It is so hard for me to, it was so hard for me to ask her to forgive me, because I knew I wasn't the cause of what had happened, so I thought. I could not see that once I had obeyed God and just trusted what he was telling me to do, he had already planned everything. He had already positioned things. He had things under control. I just needed to obey him. Forgiveness sometimes is complete, not just forgiving in your heart, but by doing something more. I don't want to be 60 and be stuck in something that happened 20 years ago. I want to be a whole woman, and that's the part that's hard sometimes, because you don't mind the forgiveness. You can get yourself to forgive and to forgive what has happened, and you can deal with that. But it is the bringing comfort to the person that hurt you that is hard, because your heart is so tensed up and you kind of don't want to give that little offering of graciousness, and it is so hard for us to forgive because there is so much pride involved, you know, because in order for you to forgive, it feels like you are losing yourself, you are weak, you're showing your weakness. But forgiveness is strength. Forgiveness gives you so much strength because it frees you from so much bondage that holds you down. The whole dynamic of being the wife and to have another woman enter into the scenario in the capacity of being the other woman was something that was not easy for me, because I had to work through so many emotions, and I had to work through the healing and the hurt and the betrayal that I had felt from this failed marriage and from the cheating. But I needed to comfort this person because my forgiveness process would not be complete without making this person feel that I had welcomed them with open arms. So I finally found the strength to visit Jen, not her real name, and do what God had burdened me to do and had burdened my heart to do so many months prior to me going to visit Jen. So before this visitation, on my way to this visitation, I called up two of my spiritual sisters, hello Lani and Kirini, to stand in the gap for me while I went to visit Jen. By this time, she had already given birth and baby was almost 3 months. So I walked up to her house, and before I entered her house, I asked God to give me the strength to hold everything in and for Him to just open my mouth and say whatever He wants me to say. So for the whole time that I was in that house, the only words that God had allowed me or permitted me to utter from my mouth was, please forgive me. So many things were said by Jen's mom and Jen herself, but all I could find myself, all I could keep repeating or saying was, forgive me, forgive me. As soon as I got out of that house, I felt such a huge burden just lift off my shoulder, and I could hear God telling me, now it's time to take the next step, which is to let go. I did the work to get through that phase of healing and finally accepting that I have forgiven them. But I needed to do the extra work, which was comfort the person that hurt me. I chose to forgive, and I chose to take the step to make her feel that I had forgiven her. It is so crucial to be able to have an open communication with the other person and be able to get over yourself and whatever your problems were. And it is one thing that can't be faked. If you aren't in a place where you have done that kind of work on forgiveness in general, then whatever you're trying to put forward is fake. It's not real, it is not authentic, and it'll never feel good deep down on the inside. I want to be able to feel good in my own skin and not feel like I'm constantly held down by the power of unforgiveness that messes up my mental and emotional state. I care about my happiness, my life, and I want a peaceful life. I want to be able to be okay when I go to church and I see them, or when I go anywhere and I see them, that it doesn't trigger something in me, or it doesn't trigger the hate or the hurt that I once felt. Because if you can forgive someone who's hurt you, or you can forgive the circumstances that come that you did not want, or if you can forgive yourself to things that you have contributed to situations, and to find a way to work through that, it takes you to a whole new place of grace and a whole new place of freedom, and that's where you really want to live. That's that place of unconditional love. That's where you need to be if you want to live the kind of liberated life, not carrying this weight and baggage from the past wherever you go. Just like everything else, we have to take the first few steps. We have to step out in faith, and we have to step out in obedience, and to say, you know what, I know that this is right. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I may not feel it all right now, but I'm going to trust that it will come. And you have to be willing to say, okay, God, I trust you. You're going to supply what I need as I go along. You have to really look down the line and see 10 years from now and know what my life will look like. You know, what type of woman will I be in 10 years? What type of peace do I want to permeate to my household? What do I want to model for them? And then you have to make choices of today with that in mind. You have to look forward, and it takes a lot of resolve to make decisions today. It takes a choice to think with tomorrow in mind. Every morning you get up, you are making choices. You make choices to be happy. You make choices that, okay, today I'm going to do things differently. I am always checking in with myself, you know, like, how am I doing? How far have I come from the place that I once was? Am I really being who I want to be? Because if not, I have to make adjustments and I have to make changes. So that's kind of an ongoing process. I need to forgive myself in this journey and process, of my marriage and divorce, even though the spotlight was on my husband and the other woman. I gave myself a hard time too, because I needed to forgive myself in that journey. I gave myself a hard time too, thinking about what I did or could have done, the case that maybe I didn't notice something, or that I slipped up, or did I fight hard enough for my marriage to make it work? And I had to work on forgiving myself so hard, and I believe that it is absolutely very important piece, because anytime we're coming out of a relationship, if we take on this mentality that we are the victims in this situation, like, this happened to me, it wasn't my fault, I didn't contribute to my husband's cheating, that delays our healing so much. In fact, it was when I realized, you know what, I played my part in this. There were things about me that were deceptive. There were things that I lost myself in. There were ways that I didn't show up where I could have shown up. There were numerous things that I would have done differently. I'm 32 years old now, and I would be such a different wife today, and I thank God for that. But I'd like to look at that and see what my part was. Someday I hope to be married again, and I don't want to make the same mistakes that I did in my past marriage. I don't want to lose myself and make decisions that cause the chasm. I see that, and I see that I had a part to play, but stepping out of the role of victim was huge in my healing process, and I had to forgive myself too. Forgiveness matters, and making the choice to forgive really can change the route of your whole life. You need to make that decision, and God will help you walk down that path that you need to live a peace-filled, hope-filled, joy-filled life. So to sum things up, to somebody that has been shoved into a situation that they never would have thought they would be in, and you're having a hard time forgiving the person or the people that have hurt you, I challenge you, forgive yourself first, and then forgive the people that hurt you, and then trust God and obey whatever He instructs you to do after you've gone through your forgiveness process, or while you're in your forgiveness process. Change the narrative that forgiveness is where it ends, and take that extra mile to comfort the person or comfort those that hurt you. Once again, thank you so much for your love and support, and if this video has spoken to you, I pray that God is going to manifest Himself through this video. And if this video has spoken to you, hit that like button, and please go ahead and feel free to share this video. Have a blessed and a purposeful week. Thank you all so much. God bless you and I love you. Good night. Bye.